Can you retouch my forehead to look smaller?
We just went live, and Korby Banner, who is all about beauty and presentation, opened the show with the most perfect thing. He said, retouch my forehead. I love it. All right, so before we get into Korby, I want you to know that the reason that we're here is that it's a virtual summit. It's called Seeking the Path. And I sort of made up the excuse of doing this virtual summit because of my book. And my book has just come out, and it's a wonderful book. I love it. But it's all about the sensory integration and the sensory pathways for getting information in and information out. So if you want to think about that for a second, that would be your seeing, your hearing, let's back up to seeing. Korby Banner is our perfect guest. Because to be a leader in today's world, you have to understand presentation. You have to understand beauty. You have to understand how to grab the person right at the beginning, the first moment that they see you, and hold on to that. Okay, I'm going to show you something. You see this picture? Let me see if I can get there.
Oh, wow.
This is me a long time ago. Korby took this picture, and only Korby would have known I could be beautiful while you looked up my nose. And so he has a very, very special talent. And I think if you want to be a leader in the world, or even if you're following leaders, it's really important to understand how beauty really grabs a hold of you and gets you to pay attention. Don't poo-poo it. That's what I always did. I'm like walking around with my, I look like Einstein hair and saying, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Well, guess what it does? Quick reason. First impressions. If your first impression is the person doesn't have a brush, then you probably don't think they are the person you want to follow. With all that in mind, I want to tell you who Korby is besides this presentation thing, and then let him do some talking. So one of the things he is extremely persistent. We've had a lot of trouble. There's something going on in technology world right now, and we were having such a hard time getting on this recorded device via the internet. He's in Canada, I'm in the States. But we kept at it and kept at it. So Korby Banner, he's a platform makeup artist. He also lectures about confidence, self-esteem, and all vital aspects of the beauty, health, and modeling industry, including visual marketing. I think that, now he's got a whole lot of, I've known him forever and ever and ever, and he's been on all kinds of shows, ET Canada, breakfast television, yada, yada, yada. But the most important thing for you to understand is that he knows how to help you make the right impression. Welcome to the summit, Seeking the Path, Korby Banner.
Thank you. Nice to see you live almost.
It's been a long time, huh?
I can't touch you, but I can see you.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
It's great having you here. So let's talk a little bit about your expertise. And you really do have it. I remember when I first started in modeling and photography, I really, really didn't have a relationship with the camera. I was very bad at it. It didn't come natural to me. Live television, fine, but not this freeze frame kind of thing. And you're so passionate. You always made me glow. How do you do that? And tell us a little bit about your tips and tricks.
My biggest plus, I think, is that I'm a makeup artist as well. So doing makeup artistry gives me time to bond with my subject, to analyze their features while I'm doing the makeup, so I get a real beauty blueprint of what I'm going to do once I pick up the camera. I began the industry as an airbrush photo retoucher before there was computers doing retouching, and I developed a style of makeup that would avoid having to do a lot of touch-ups. And I think that's what's made me connect with my subjects more, is that I have that hour and a bit before the session to really get to know them and establish a rapport, but really understand their features and the angles of their face and how the light plays on it. So when I pick up the camera, I know exactly what angle to start with, and it's not an experiment.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay, all right. So let's talk about visual marketing. What is that?
We're all drawn visually to things, and I think what people don't realize is how quickly we're making first impressions, and they're actually quite difficult to undo. So I worked on a show called Style by Jury, which is based on first impressions, and the same person would go in before the makeover and not even get an interview. Then they'd go in and they'd practically have a job thrown at them because they had their proper wardrobe, hair, and makeup attended to. And in real life, whether it's for personal things like dating or finding a mate, that we really respond very well to good grooming and people that understand their colors and the right shape of haircut to enhance their features. I honestly do believe that everybody has exquisite beauty. Some people need a little bit more help with the right makeup and the right hair and the right wardrobing. But it's really easy. Once you found it and you find your own design and you stay true to it, people respond better to it. I especially am fond of finding the right colors for people because we're very sensitive to color. And people react differently to you, and you also show yourself off in a different way.
I agree. And you know what I was thinking while you were talking about, not only are first impressions really important and we're sort of locked in as soon as we see someone and make an opinion, but we trust our eyes more than most of our senses. And the example of that would be it's dark and you're getting ready for bed and you hear a noise and you're like, what was that? And then you walk in the room, you see nothing, so you assume that you were wrong about what you heard. You assume that your eyes are right and your ears are wrong. And I could give lots of examples of that. It's very true, isn't it?
True. I think we rely more on our eyes. And what I can tell you is that your brain activity actually uses more energy to operate your eyes than any other organ in the body. I think it's more than 50% of your brain activity is actually devoted to making your eyes work. So it's actually one of the main things that, as a species, that we rely entirely on it. Judgments about things to do with like grooming, or if somebody has, if they don't take care of their skin, or they're not exfoliated and they have like, skin interruptions, we call it. We kind of think less of them in a way, even though we're told not to. Older, they've got like, just for example, just on a suit with lint on it, and they haven't really attended to it, or mustard stains on their sleeve of their coat or something, and you think sloppy, and you would think that maybe that you wouldn't hire them, or that you wouldn't
follow them.
You might not want to, as a co-worker, that you might not want to engage or socialize with them. And so much business life is based on social connections as well, too, that you feel comfortable having dinner or sitting across the table with someone that it makes you laugh and inspires you. If someone has ungroomed teeth, for example, or they haven't flossed or brushed their teeth properly, it just all adds up to us making a blanket judgment about their qualities as a worker as well.
I agree.
We do that.
I agree. And in fact, that's used in marketing all the time. When you watch a drug commercial and they're saying, and you will die and you will have a coma and your parents will cease to exist and all these things are happening, but you see visual images of beautiful people laughing and they're well groomed, then you ignore your ears and you let your eyes supersede. So let's talk about for a second the ways in which we can, with ethics, use this skill of presentation and beauty. What's a tip or two you can give us?
Well, as you become older, for example, it's very important to bleach your teeth. White strips do a lot for waking up your smile, but it also gives you a more youthful, vibrant, and fresh look. Wearing targeted moisturizer, not just regular moisturizer, but an eye product in this area that's more delicate under the eyes. Keep your skin fresher and more dewy looking, and it staves away the little crow's feet and fine lines. I really believe a lot in laser as well for removing, skin and time from exposure to the sun. You get brown spots on your forehead and face, and you see some old people and they look like. But I believe in sunblock as organic as possible. I believe in, because photo aging is a real bummer for your skin generally. As much as we all look nice with a little bronze glow, it's really not doing a lot to actually tan yourself to the point that you're dark. There's, I think, wearing proper protection from the sun, whether it's a hat or whether it's like, I use organic coconut oil. It has an SPF of 8 or 10 even, depending how thickly you put it on. You don't have to use chemical sunblocks. You can use natural things as well. It's important just, for men, for example, as you get older, you get a little bit hairier in the, so you might start getting
Yes.
ear hair. What used to be cute blonde peach fuzz starts becoming coarse brown ugly hair. So it's important to, visit your barber more often and, do your grooming. Who wants Dr. Demento crazy curly eyebrows? So you have to keep them trimmed. as a guy, you know, it's a matter, you know, nostril hair and ear hair is a no-no. Having too much hair coming out, through, you know, sprouting out through the top of your shirt collar. So if you have a chest hair, it's fine, but, you know, not up onto your throat and Adam's apple.
Right.
It seems like, you know, we're trying to get away from the beast. So
I want to jump on this. Can I jump on this for a second, Korby, and ask you, while you're going, please incorporate a little bit of how someone would choose their clothes too, because we're going to run out of time, and I want to make sure we don't just stick with the skin. So when someone's looking, how do they choose?
Okay, if you want to enhance your cheekbones, a V collar is better than a round neck. If you wear a round neck collar, it makes your face look rounder. So a V neck tends to repeat the shape of sculpting your jawbone and cheekbones. It's important if you want to look at wardrobe that's both figure and age appropriate. So if your arms aren't especially toned, then sleeveless isn't such a great idea, especially for job interviews or dates. No, I'm talking about upper arms, you know, like people wear these completely strapless things. They're fine for comfort, but if you want to make a great first impression, tailoring your clothes, having your clothes fitted to your body. It doesn't matter really whether you're heavier or not. That's not the point. It's to have your clothes so that you have ample clothes. So if you're a little bit on the more plus size, make sure you don't say like, squeeze yourself into a size that's smaller than you just so you can get into a size 8 or a 6. Wear clothes that are roomier on you because you'll look smaller in comparison if your clothes aren't too tight. Patterns can make you look bigger, so solid colors work better. Textures look lovely. Layers are fantastic for creating a frame on your face, having like a t-shirt under something or a layer.
Okay. Okay. So everybody's out there and they're going, okay, what did he say? Remember, you can pause and you can listen again. There is so much valuable information with you. And before I get to the 3 questions I'm asking everybody, since you're right now so hot with all this information that's just coming, clearly you know your stuff. How do people hire you, check you out, follow you? Where are you at with that?
Well, people usually go to my website or they find me on Facebook under Korby Banner, Korby Banner. And KorbyBanner.com has been active since the internet began. And I get most of my bookings as referrals. I've been very lucky enough to work with a lot of major celebrities, and it always opens up doors working with famous people because people at that level of the industry want the best, and I've been chosen for a lot of prestigious assignments in my career. So I'm confident in what I do. I love what I do. I have passion about everyone I do, whether they're real life people or whether they're show business people. Segregation, I treat everybody the same. If you're in my chair, you're the star. I love discovering and designing makeup that enhances features. I take a lot of business executives and teach them how to groom and wardrobe themselves better for that boardroom meeting where you want to wow them once a year, the annual meeting. You really want to not look like you're ready to retire. You want to look vital and fresh and alive. And part of it's, you know, having a smile in your eyes. Work with Sophia Loren, and I learned 3 things from her. 3 secrets to being thought of as beautiful for your entire life, and I'll share them with you. One of them is a genuine smile and good posture. And that's the truth, that everybody that I've ever seen that's hot at the over 50s, all of them have those 3 qualities.
I love those 3 tips because I'm sitting here and I'm going, oh, my eyes are kind. Oh, my posture's good. I'm feeling very beautiful.
Yeah, good posture, and you have a nice throat. You don't have like contracted accordion neck if you have good posture. Your shoulders aren't up to your, yeah, exactly. Right. You and I used to do a lot of characters, which is fun how even without makeup, you could add 50 pounds in 40 years to you just by how you contort your face.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah. And I have to say, there's another thing before. Okay, I have 3 questions I ask all the leaders, and if ever there was a leader in fashion, it's you. A leader behind the camera, a leader behind the makeup brush, a leader, a leader, a leader. But before I ask you those 3 questions, I also want to just say the reason that you were able to get that sparkle out of me that nobody else could, because I was always a little uncomfortable with modeling, is because you do this. Oh yeah, that's it, oh yeah, you got it, right? And there's a genuine, absolute joy in every second that you work with Korby. And if you want somebody to do this job, get Korby because he's awesome.
Passion's my fuel.
It really is, and you really do that. It's really fun to be with you. So, let's ask the three.
They're not all as fun as you are, though. You're like having 10 people in the room.
Thank you. I love that. I might have to quote you. All right, let's ask the three questions. Number one, what is your definition of leadership?
Leadership is inspiration.
I love that.
Whoever inspires me most is my leader.
Very simple and pure. That's awesome. All right, what's your definition of success?
Is doing what you love.
And what's your definition of the path that one takes to get success?
Hard work.
A little tougher.
Yeah, I think the third question that you asked is all about what you put into it. And I'm not afraid of hard work, but luckily I chose something that I love to do. I never dread a day of work because I've chosen to do something that I love for work. So it's gravitating towards something you enjoy so that you look forward to work rather than dreading it. Keeping yourself fit. I like dancing and yoga more than lifting weights, and that's how I stay fit, because I enjoy doing it. I don't want to be forced to go and do something. I resent the workout, but if I'm dancing and I'm doing yoga or something artistic with my body, I enjoy it, and no one has to point a gun at my head to go and do it.
Right, and I completely adhere to that doctrine. I only get fit doing stuff I love. Thank you.
Rollerblading.
Go ahead.
Rollerblading.
Oh, so fun. So fun. I love it. All right, next time I'm up there in Toronto where you're at, I will make sure to see you. I missed you last time. We've been talking with Korby Banner. This is the virtual leadership summit. So you get on here and listen to all these experts for free simply by signing up. Lucky you. I think I should have called it No Selling, Just Sharing, because we're not selling, we're just sharing. Thank you so much for being here, Korby. You've been a wonderful guest.
It's a pleasure, and you look gorgeous.
I had a good teacher.